SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. Entrepreneur Rebecca Kledinsky founded Frankie Swimwear, which has been hugely successful internationally thanks to clever branding and a hands-on approach. But now she's branching out from bikinis to bling. Rebecca has seen new potential in the booming world of lab-grown diamonds. We'll get to those diamonds in a moment, but first, Rebecca explains how she engineered an Instagram sensation to Jeff Waters.
Established in 2012, it was Frankie Swimwear at the time, named after my dog. I entered into a rebrand in about 2019-ish, Exist Swim. So it's about, 2025, 13 years old now-ish. And I started it when I was a uni student, way back when Instagram first started, when Shopify stores had just launched. I was one of the very first Instagram brands in the country, swimwear brands.
How did you do that? I mean, what was it about Instagram and swimwear where you saw a niche that you could exploit?
Well, it was just, I was a uni student at the time, early 20s.
Studying?
And
what were you studying?
Studying a double degree in psychology, forensic psych and psychology.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was totally different, but it was in a time where we had lay-by, so there was no afterpay. We would lay-by clothes, and come summertime, we didn't have very many options. So you either had high-end, very expensive designer swimwear, or you had Kmart and Target. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there was nothing in the middle for girls like me that wanted a little bit extra and didn't want something so cheap. And I thought, if I'm feeling like this, I'm sure there's other girls that feel like this. I particularly wanted a design that was supportive. I could do Pilates and go to the beach, and it was sort of a 2-for-1 type of bikini. And that's where the idea started, and that's how the business begun.
And where did you start?
On the floor in my bedroom, on Google, just Googling manufacturers overseas. Once I had my feelers out there and I sort of understood where I wanted to go, I just packed my backpack and went to Indonesia, and I was on foot looking for a manufacturer, just walking the streets alone.
Goodness me. And with your own designs?
Yeah. I had an idea in mind. I had some sketches and drawings, and I found someone that I wanted to work with, and we did it. We started. That's honestly how it started.
So you had a small run in the manufacturing sense?
Yes, we had a small run to test the waters just to see. And small to me was huge at the time. So it was maybe 50 pieces or 100 pieces. Fast forward 10 years and we're looking at 500 as a minimum, or 1,000 and 2,000 as a minimum. So yes, we had a small run.
Just out of interest, are you still with the same Indonesian manufacturers?
Yes.
Wow.
Doesn't that say something?
They must love you.
Yes.
So from there, you're doing all of the posting out yourself, and I presume your customers are contacting you through Instagram?
Through Instagram and through the email address that was on the Instagram. So it was a bit of both, but I was doing everything. So point of sale and administration and shipping and photos and marketing and design, all of it.
Well, yes, you're heavily reliant on your own promotion and publicity here.
Yeah.
How did you go about that?
Well, it was when Instagram had just first started. So there was no one really doing things like I was doing it. It was very strange to see a bikini posted or a half-naked body at that time, and very strange to see a for sale sign on a social media platform, because we weren't marketing that way back then. It was just everyone was sharing their day-to-day, a cup of tea, a rainbow, very wholesome kind of things. And I thought that was my only way to share with my friends. I had a public profile at the time, and I was sharing with my friends who would then share with their friends. And I sort of quickly learned how it is like quickfire back then.
Fantastic. And I suppose the hard question that I need to ask is, did you make many mistakes along the way as you were finding your way?
Nothing that I would reflect upon like, I really f***ed up. Nothing that I have done totally crazy. Everything has sort of been a learning curve. Maybe have you ordered too many units or not enough units, or I shouldn't have shipped with this courier, or just little things like that. Nothing that has totally knocked me off my feet and made me unable to come back from it.
So the business expanded. Do you now employ people to do the work for you?
Shipping, yep. Dispatch, administration, a little bit of social media. Yes, I have employed people since 2015.
And are you still confined to swimwear?
No, I don't have 2 feet in the swimwear business as I once did. We've recently launched another company specializing in lab diamonds and lab grown stones. That started during COVID. And since then, the trajectory on that has just been upwards, and I've had to really dedicate my time to that. But I can't let go of my swimwear baby. That's what's gotten me here today.
Now, please tell us about these diamonds.
Well, it's lab-grown stones. It's just diamonds. It's just an ethical, sustainable version of the diamond. It's not a new found concept. Growing stones is not a new thing. Australia were very late to the party. America and Europe have been dealing in lab diamonds for decades. And we were one of the first, or I was one of the first in the country to facilitate that niche or that hole in the market for us, which happened around COVID.
I have to ask this question because, of course, we've all been taught at school about diamonds and carbon and compression over millions of years. How do you make a diamond in the laboratory?
It starts in the simplest terms as a seed formation in controlled environments in a lab. That seed is then exposed to the same amount of pressure above ground in a controlled environment. It takes around 2 to 3 weeks to grow a diamond to its specs and size, and then it's cut into shape. So that's the easiest way to put it.
Goodness me. And you're doing that manufacturing here in Australia now?
Yeah, well, we're shipping, making everything here in the country. Diamonds are coming from our lab overseas, but everything is on ground in Australia.
Insofar as the processing is concerned. And
yes, yep.
The cutting as well?
Some of it, yes.
Terrific. And how is the business going?
Insane. It has been a wild ride, but just from the day one, we were one of the first in the country to do it. So it was quite strange. It was quite shocking. Similar to the approach with Instagram and bikinis. Strange and shocking to see a half-naked body on your feed in the morning. Strange and shocking to hear about lab-grown diamonds. So it's been great.
And is there a price point that makes you different from conventional diamonds?
Well, yes. So lab-grown diamonds are 30 to 50% less expensive than a dirt counterpart. Exactly the same. But they are graded. They are the same chemical composition. They are the identical to each other, down to their certifications.
It's just that you can compete on a price level.
Yes. Yep.
And when you say it's going insane, can you give us some sort of indication of how much turnover you've got and how quickly that's grown?
We haven't experienced a dip. It hasn't slowed up on us. We diversify as well. We specialize in larger carat diamonds. I'm signing NDAs for actors in Hollywood. We've done 3 rings now for 3 Hollywood actors. One of them just had a movie out.
Oh.
Yeah. We're shipping all over the world every single day.
That's fantastic news.
Yeah.
And I suppose you wouldn't necessarily recommend that your customers wear your diamonds and your swimwear at the same time in the surf.
Not in the surf, but if you're going to take a photo for Instagram, most definitely. Tag them both.
That's Rebecca Kludinsky, founder of Exist Swimwear, formerly Frankie Swimwear. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel.